Today it's the 16th of January 2011. We're in Toronto and we're meeting Nelson. He's actually originally from Portugal.
Yep.
And he's into figs. And I'm just going to ask him here now, what got you into fig cultivation?
Man, that's a good story. Well, the honest truth is, I got my first fig tree because they said it was a good gift for fertilization for women. And believe it or not, a month later, my fiance was pregnant, so the collection got bigger and bigger.
So it's something now more of a intimate thing, I guess.
It was at first, but now it's just, I just love it. I love growing figs. I love eating fresh figs.
And how many do you think you have? How many trees or varieties do you have?
Including unknown varieties, at least 100.
And do you think there'll be ever an end to the number?
I would hope so. I would say that they will change back and forth. I'm sure the collection will always be fairly high, but I would say not much higher than that.
And what would be your advice to someone who would like to start growing figs?
I would say take your time and don't get too many at once.
Do you think there's a secret way of growing them which is unique, or?
I would say sometimes less is more. So, just let them do what they're supposed to do. And that's it. Decent soil, good drainage, fertilization once in a while.
And what's your take on, let's say if we're looking at the basics, if you're propagating cuttings or air layering, what's your opinion about it?
What do you mean, like time to root?
Time or way of doing it? Or actually, if you could show us a bit here on the camera.
Sure. I would have to say, like, let's see, let's grab two here, for example. Use these baggies, thanks to John. These have actually been in here for about a month, more or less. This soil is actually a mix of Miracle Grow Professional mixed with Turfus for drainage. It's been pre-mixed and watered before they were put in the bags. So they've only been watered once in the last month. I actually just misted it today with the squirt bottle.
And why do you keep them in this box?
Just to increase humidity. I do have heat at work here, but it's dry heat, so the humidity does help them root quicker.
And what do you think is the ideal temperature to keep them when you're propagating cuttings?
From what I've seen, that doesn't cause root rot or bark rot. I would have to say Celsius-wise between 22 and 25 degrees Celsius, and the humidity somewhere around 70%. I have had the best results.
And do you grow them mainly in pots after that, or you plant them directly in the ground?
All my figs are in pots currently. One plant will be going in ground at my father's house this year, and we will go from there. I do bury them in the summer though, in ground. I do bury them at least 3 inches below the surface.
Does it help in any way doing that, or?
Definitely. It helps more than fertilizing it, that's for sure. From what I've noticed, at least. I would definitely say it's worth doing. Something everybody should try.
And if you're looking, what's your favorite varieties here in Canada that you have had the chance to taste until now?
Bronze Paradiso, probably one of my favorites. Well, for sure it is. Besides that, Closanti Dark is a very good fig. Hardy Chicago. Excel. Let's see what else. Oh man, Capella's very good fig.
And
But
tell us about Capellas, because I noticed that on my website I have sometimes when I was looking at Google Analytics,
mhm.
I sometimes get in the searches people were typing in Capellas, and there seems to be some kind of interest for Capellas.
Yeah,
Even on top,
sure. The story, from what I've understood, Adriano got it from a fellow friend. He actually ate figs from the original mother plant when he was younger in San Miguel. It is somewhat similar to a Brunswick fig in leaf shape and the way it acts.
Mhm.
I've eaten a lot of figs from his tree, which is about 30 years old and been in ground for 30 years. And it's an excellent tasting fig and big. Definitely worth growing in ground, I would say. I know some
Mhm.
people are having issues with figs splitting, so I've never seen that there at on his own tree. So possibly growing in ground would make somewhat of a difference.
And what would you say? I mean, for you, who are the people or the sources of information that were the most valuable for you?
Uh, oh man, so many. Of course, Adriano, John from Encanto Farms. A lot of members on the forum, Google, books, quite a few
Hmm.
books. Just add everything up and then just experiment the rest yourself. Sometimes, somebody tells you one thing, but you want to try otherwise and just see the results.
Hmm. And perhaps I asked it also at the beginning, but I'll perhaps rephrase it in a different way. I guess I would perhaps say it that way. What would be your advice if you only have to give one advice to someone? What would it be?
Like I said, do some research and just start off with a few and give yourself some time. That's the best. Like I got probably within 2 years close to 100, so that's quite a few too many to really tell how good any of them are.